Russians trying to help the Kremlin are being scammed into throwing Molotov cocktails at its offices and cars instead, reports.
Here's a summary of the article.
Authenticate users, apply security measures, and prevent spam and abuse, and if you do not want us and our partners to use cookies and personal data for these additional purposes, click Reject All. If you would like to customize your choices, click Manage Privacy Settings. You can change your choices at any time by clicking on the Privacy Dashboard links on our sites and apps.
This post received a score of 26,000, with an upvote ratio of 93%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Mediazona is a Russian independent media outlet focused on anti-Putinist opposition that were founded by Maria Alyokina and Nadezhda Tolokonikova, who are also co-founders of the protest group and band Pussy Riot. Here's the full original story.
Willing participants in something framed to them as a false flag attack, but just ends up being vandalism, arson?
That's what it sounds like. And what better way to convince idiots to damage their own stuff? Tell them it would make Ukraine look bad and they'd set their own houses on fire.
It is not arson, it is special fireworks operation.
It has to be from the arson region of France. Otherwise it's just sparkling pyromania.
The old Jason Mendoza. I'm telling you, Molotov cocktails work. Anytime I had a problem, and I threw a Molotov cocktail, boom. Right away, I had a different problem.
BOOORRRRTLES.
Jacksonville Jaguars rule.
Raise your bottles.
Russia tried to use scam, it hurt itself in its confusion.
It was super effective.
Russia fainted,
Putin rushed Russia to the nearest Pokémon center.
Putin found a vacant lot where the Pokémon Center was supposed to be because one of his billionaire cronies pocketed the funds meant for construction and staffing.
Contents of Pokeball may not be useful on release. Pokeballs may not open when thrown.
Do not taunt Happy Funball.
Accept no substitutes.
You know how you did things you weren't allowed to do by your parents, and when caught you told them it was actually your friend's idea.
Makes me curious as to exactly when the Soviets banned leaded gasoline.
From transportpolicy.net. Looks like you might be onto something. I'd say a good portion of the populace has brain damage and it'll be another few generations before that effect is gone.
The Western world really only has about a 20-year head start on them.
Random side note, but is it weird to anyone else that we still refer to gasoline as unleaded? Hasn't all gas been unleaded for like 40 years in the US?
They stopped sale of leaded gasoline at gas stations in the mid-90s. It was just uncommon for about a decade or so before that, because all vehicles made in the US starting in 1975 had catalytic converters. And leaded gas damages catalytic converters. I remember signs up into the mid-1980s with X price leaded, Y price unleaded.
That makes sense. I was a toddler in the mid-80s.
This sounds suspiciously like the scene in The Saint where the hero impersonates a Russian officer, is cornered by two groups of Russian soldiers, screams at one group, "It's a revolution," and they both start firing at each other instead of him. Added, I did not expect this comment to escalate. Thanks for the upvotes. The Saint was one of my favorite movies of the 90s. I'm glad so many remember it, too.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.